pool. Uh, I watched a video that made me curious about somebody who person in the know about the pool, and it made my antennas go up. But anyway, we'll get into that a little bit, and we've got the situation in Iran and a lot of other stuff that we're going to chat about. The courts are actively undermining the military. They want that drone port, and they want that military facility at the White House. And these judges, which we'll go over, have blocked it again, but it's still moving forward. And I think they're going to get to a point. I'm going to put in my title, The Road to an Insurrection, right? I got to watch it, So, but that's what it's looking like, folks. But what do? I play videos while people come in. Give everybody time to get a cup of coffee, a nice cold brouhaha, or an adult beverage of your choice. And then we will what? Be like butter and get on a roll. Ha ha.
Communism is the greatest threat to our country in its history, including even World War I, World War II, Pearl Harbor, 9/11. I think it's the greatest threat. I could be the greatest communist in history. I tell everybody here, would you like a free house? We'll take one from your neighbor. Would you like free rent? We'll take it from whoever. We'll take your building away from the landlord that makes 2%, and we'll run the building ourselves. What they don't say, and what Republicans should say, is that at the end of a year, you'll have nothing but death, squalor, poverty. You'll have a life of hell. And that's what happens every single time.
For we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies primarily on covert means for expanding its sphere of influence, on infiltration instead of invasion, on subversion instead of elections, on intimidation instead of free choice, on guerrillas by night instead of armies by day. It is a system which has conscripted vast human and material resources into the building of a tightly knit, highly efficient machine that combines military, diplomatic, intelligence, economic, scientific, and political operations. Its preparations are concealed, not published. Its mistakes are buried, not headlined. Its dissenters are silenced, not praised. No expenditure is questioned, no rumor is printed, no secret is revealed. It conducts the Cold War, in short, with a wartime discipline no democracy would ever hope or wish.
And you're crooked, and Meet the Press is crooked, and so is ABC, and CBS, and CNN.
But Mr. President,
you're one-sided crooked networks. All right, let's call it quits, because I've had enough. Thank you, darling. Have a good time.
Mr. President, let's please. I traveled all the way to Wisconsin.
I've sat in the rain with you.
I know.
I've sat in the rain with you for an hour, on and off in the rain, and I've given you enough time. You ought to straighten out your press, because you know what?
Mr. President,
a country can never be great with a dishonest
press. Listen, we traveled all the way to Wisconsin for this interview.
Storm zone.
Yes, sir.
I'm wondering what storm you're talking about.
They have unsuccessfully tried to take down the wrong person.
He's absolutely going to come back with full vengeance the next time around.
Now think about what 4 years of a retribution presidency might look like. Our Constitution really does give the president tremendous power to destroy. This will be something we could never have imagined.
Now the gloves are off.
Some of Trump's close political
activities of the FBI and DOJ staff and forming lists.
I will direct a completely overhauled DOJ to investigate every radical DA and AG in America for their illegal, racist enforcement of the law. The deep state is destroying our nation, but the tables must turn and we will quickly destroy the deep state. We know where the bodies are buried. There are a lot of people out there that have done some very, very evil things, very bad things, I would say treasonous things against our country. People that have done such harm to our country. I've been looking at them for a long time.
He could order the investigation and prosecution of individuals who he perceives as enemies.
Put them all in jail where they belong. You gotta get tough and smart, and you have to fight fire with fire. You can't allow this to go on. And I will be the one to clean it up. I am your retribution. We will take care of it. We will take care of it.
Hi, folks. Thank you for joining me. So, some people saying that it didn't get... What? We had that one video where we took off like a rocket and had 6,000 views. And after that, 2 streams getting plucked off the air, interrupted. And somebody left me a comment that... they think there's something wrong with my mic or my mute button, but I appreciate the thoughts, but that's not the case. A lot of people know what happens with my broadcasts, especially when it starts to grow, when the channel starts to increase its reach, I get smacked down. We all know that. No reason for the broadcast to just drop off like they do. But it happens. And, but anyway, we soldier on. And tonight I can see that we are drastically down in viewers. But hey, give me a thumbs up. It helps the video to get around. We will fight the rhythm. Hi, Frank. How you doing? KNS Cleanup. Nice to see you. Sissy's here. All right, Frank is here. Rain is here. Tammy, part of the younger gang, is here. Ha ha. Let's see. Elva. Yeah, Elva, if you go moving that red line, you'll be behind in the broadcast, and your comments won't really match up. You know, so you want to kind of, if you miss something at the beginning, just when the broadcast is done, you can rewatch from the beginning the parts you missed. It's best to keep up in real time, right? Hi, Darla. Nice to see you, all my lurkers, and the folks that leave me messages. Nicey, you're out there, I know, and many others that let me know they're watching. I have to write their names down and give them a shout out. Randy, all right. Good to hear from you, my friend. And yeah, I watch y'all's comments and stuff. I appreciate the input. But anyway, so I thought I put in my title a little too soon that Todd Blanche was in, because it was hanging by a thread, because you had Lisa Murkowski, Susan Collins, who's the other one? Some other nitwit Republican saying, nah, I'm not going to vote for him. Well, this Bill Cassidy, I got this off of Diamond Silk's page. Just in, Rhino Senator caves to Trump on a key vote. I will vote for Mr. Blanche. Explaining his final decision. And it's like a 6-minute video of him, and I'm not going to play it. We have to rein in the depoliticization of the Justice Department and not go after our political enemies, listen, you just vote for Blanche, okay? And we know who went after who, all right? So, yeah, the best way to put a stop to that is find the people who were responsible. And if they broke the law, put them in jail. If they violated their oaths or their ethical responsibilities as attorneys, stripped them of their licenses. We got to root it out and make sure it never happens again. And that's the best way to handle that. So you just go ahead and do what you're supposed to do, Cassidy. We don't hear no more. You're preaching to people. What, were you blind the last 5 years as to who was doing what to who? Or you got rocks in your head, which is, hi, Roland, how you doing? Melinda, nice to see you. Let's see. Some more people ran. Oh, Tammy, you're shadow banned on Instagram. I don't go on Instagram. I don't know what to make of it. I did this kind of auto upload thing with BitChute. And they sent me an email wanting me to give them money, be a member and all this stuff. But they say, we will, it's kind of like a handshake deal with YouTube. And you put a video on YouTube and then they'll upload it to BitChute automatically. It's all, as far as I can see, BS, because it's just not happening. And they don't do what they say they're going to do, and I'm supposed to send them money. Okay, all right, sounds good to me. That place is out of the UK anyway. Well, what are you going to get out of that? But anyway, yeah, I saw where somebody put about the state charges against Ouchie. And here is a something you could put on your meta page. The mantra of the wacko left: no one is above the law. They're schizophrenic ideations of what law is what the problem is. Nobody's above the law. Whatever we say it is from day to day or hour to hour. Nobody's above our law. No, the law. Okay. So I got a little clip about. Let's see. Jesse Waters. What these people think of you. Ouchie's wife. She shows you what she thinks of everybody. And that's the one we need to be looking at. Bank accounts, patents, side deals, everything. Watch the wives, right?
Does he even care? Well, Fauci was seen taking out the trash today at his $2.5 million D.C. home, and he sped away with his wife. He let her drive, and she took one hand off the wheel to give the finger to reporters. A lot of people trusted Tony, and they got hurt.
And we were told, hey, you ain't going to get COVID if you do that. And I got COVID. And damn it almost killed me.
Yeah. You can't get more blunt than that. And so, yeah, things are going on with Fauci. The Senate voted to hold him in contempt. Do I still got that picture of him up there? Yeah, let me get that off. They're going to hold him in contempt, and the states are going to charge him. And, yeah, he will be able to claim the fifth. But as far as the Senate goes, that's another can of worms. That's separate from the state courts. So we'll see how it turns out. Hi, Outlandish. How you doing? Nice to see you. Wanda. Nice to see you. Robert's here. Who'd I miss? I think I got everybody. But anyway, You know, they keep putting this stuff out about Pete Hegseth, saying that Trump is dressed down Pete Hegseth or was angry with him or something like that. I'll put up a post that Trump put up on his Truth Social about that. But it's also being reported on Fox News and different places about what Trump actually says about Pete Hegseth. Fake news is what they're doing. Everybody knows that by now.
The president also dismissed media reports that he was dissatisfied with the performance of Secretary of War Pete Hegseth. The president posted on Truth Social, "The fake news, as usual, is spreading false and completely unfounded rumors. I am extremely happy with the job that Pete Hegseth is doing. Iran is likely to try to ask for fees or taxes, transit fees, on all ships going through the Strait of Hormuz. That is something the U.S. has already rejected, and President Trump has warned several times during the week that if the strait is not opened quickly, Iran will be hit hard again." Guys, back to you.
All right, Steve Harrigan there in Tel Aviv.
Yeah, well, they're going to get hit hard, all right. But I tell you what, it is... it came together, and, you know, their time over there versus our time. Let's just say it was yesterday evening, our time, but daylight, their time, I don't know. But I think this thing was just what we discussed the other night. To get this deal inked, to ink this deal, Saudi, Turkey, and Pakistan strengthen security ties amid regional tensions. Now that this is done, they're committed. Saudi Arabia, Turkey, Pakistan signed a new joint preference defense agreement during a meeting in Mecca. That's what I was saying last night. One attacks one, they're attacking. You attack one, you're attacking them all. Kind of like a mini NATO over there in the Middle East. A meeting in Mecca involving Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, Turkish President Erdogan. We discussed him last night. Pakistani Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif. The Mecca Joint Defense Agreement. 3 countries will be regarded as an attack on all. Officials describe the pact as defensive, coming amid heightened regional tensions following the ongoing U.S.-Iran conflict, attacks by Iran-backed Houthis, and disruptions to shipping in the Red Sea and the Strait of Hormuz. The agreement strengthens military cooperation among the 3 countries, but does not publicly detail the specific obligations each nation will undertake. Well, it leaves a lot of latitude. And let me tell you something. Now that agreement's been signed, Iran, it might just be Katie bar the door, right? And you could see why it would be worthwhile to put off any military action until that agreement was signed. And I think it had a little something to do with the Camp David location. Because we're getting these leaks, these so-called government officials, all right, telling the press stuff. "Hi, Doc, how you doing?" So, when I first started reading this, I thought, gee, they caught the guy. They caught the guy who was leaking the missiles. But wait a minute. Wait. Somebody else. Sean Parnell put this up. Effective immediately, the Department of War has revoked former Secretary of the Air Force Frank Kendall's eligibility to access to classified information and his ability to to hold any sensitive position. This is just for starters, I believe. This action follows his unauthorized disclosure of classified information regarding Air Force One's capabilities to a media outlet. Safeguarding classified information is a non-negotiable duty. Those who violate that trust forfeit the privilege of accessing any role requiring it. So, somebody, this guy here, what are you going to do with this guy? Was blabbing classified information regarding Air Force One's capabilities to a media outlet. And, I had a couple of stories about this that I never got to. The Qatari plane, the future of the Qatari plane. Of course, they're using everything they can to throw stones at Trump. It's unsafe. It was a crooked deal. He can't give it to himself to put in his library. On and on. So I don't know if it had something to do with that situation, or it's the old Air Force One. That's right, Frank. So he... I mean, you're at the top of the talking about the president's safety, right? And the stories about Mitch McConnell. They were talking about Trump and Hegseth fighting and arguing. Well, Mitch McConnell was seen. There he is at the meeting. Just kidding. Anyway, he's still reportedly home, and we'll see what comes of that. But there's a little funny something to put on your meta page. Mitch McConnell. Kim, nice to see you. Awaken Trillium, nice to see you. He's a Biden holdover. Oh, there's a lot of Biden-Obama holdovers. A lot of Biden-Obama holdovers. But anyway, Trump gave an interview where he addressed a number of subjects. And one of them, the inevitable question. I mean, what are you going to do if we lose the midterms, right? Trump's pretty cool, calm, cool, and collected. He's not showing any cards. He's just saying, well, if I got to block stuff, I'll block it. I'm a good blocker.
Johnson has said in the past, if Republicans lose the House, it'll be the end of the Trump presidency to some degree.
Yeah, to some degree. Still have great blocking power, so they won't be able to do anything. In other words, they won't be able to veto, right? No, I have great block. I'm a great blocker, and they'll be putting horrible communistic type things in front of me, and I'll be just saying no, no, no. But I'd rather be a positive force than a negative force.
You've acknowledged a bunch of times.
Yeah, you'd rather approve things, good things, be a positive force, not have to run around blocking things. We want to keep control. And that's why the Save America Act is so important, as we all know. What do y'all think of this? Who's this guy on the right? Who's this guy on the right? Let's see if anybody guesses it in the chats. Who's the guy on the right? And if you already know the answer because you saw it on True Social, don't spoil it. Let's let people use their memory banks as far as facial recognition as to who this person is. And while you're doing that, I want to find the President Trump put up a lot of opinion on what they did. The courts, what they did to block his, some refer to it as the ballroom, so the liberals can keep going, he wants to be so elegant, and the rich people can have a ballroom. And some are calling it what it is, a secure facility, a military installation, basically. We'll get to that in a minute. I just want to see if anybody can, Hi, Pappy Two Bears. Todd got it. Elvis said no clue. Todd got it. Actor John Goodman. Y'all remember him? Do you think Roseanne would recognize her former screen husband? Actor John Goodman, far right, has lost 200 pounds. My God. Some people with a addictive personality, they start losing weight, man. They make it a mission. And they go like a lot farther than they really should. But he's probably had that skin surgery where they take extra skin off and everything. But I don't know what he weighs in that picture, but maybe it's just shock of the difference. But I can say that I consider him at the edge of looking unhealthy. The edge. I'm not saying he looks unhealthy. I'm saying he's getting to the edge. And maybe it's because he hadn't shaved and whatever. But, hey, it's his, whatever makes him feel good, safe and healthy, then more power to him, right? He's got to do what he's got to do. So anyway, let's see what Donald Trump had posted on Truth Social. Last night was another good night for endorsements, 8-1, and the one person who I remained loyal to, even though he had virtually no chance of winning, was running against a great Trump candidate and former agricultural commissioner of Tennessee named Charlie Hatcher. Good luck, Charlie. Run tough and hard. You have my complete and total endorsement, President Donald J. Trump. So Trump is pointing out loyalty as a quality, even though the guy didn't really have a chance. He didn't rescind his endorsement. Just for the sake of better numbers. Here's a lengthy post from Donald J. Trump. This is concerning the ballroom military facility, right? The drone port and secure locations. And I was waiting for when is anybody going to point out that FDR had a swimming pool installed? Who was it? Truman had a bowling alley installed. Might have been Nixon, I don't know. Barack Obama had a basketball court installed. Many presidents have made many changes. And this is nothing unusual at all. Don't forget about Truman gutting, or during the Truman administration, the entire White House was gutted. The only thing standing was the exterior walls. And they added 10 stories underneath the White House after World War II. And Congress didn't have a damn thing to do with it. It's in discretionary defense budget for the President of the United States. 2 Obama and Biden appellate court judges just voted against a desperately needed military center required for the country itself. Highly respected Judge Naomi Real stated the following key points, among others, in a strongly worded dissent. So this was an appellate court, from what I could gather. 2 judges said no, and Naomi Rao dissented, said Trump should be allowed to do it. So here's her dissent. This was a blatant abuse of discretion. To begin with, here we go, a dopey little district court. We got 1,000 of them across the country. And any one of them apparently can tell the President of the United States what to do. And the military and Department of Homeland Security, on and on and on. So we got to put a stop to this crap. And the judges that have the damn nerve and the gall to keep doing this, even after the Supreme Court told them to stop, need to be removed. I mean, no more nicey nice stuff. No more games. They can't be trusted. The district court had no jurisdiction because the trust has no standing to stop construction at the White House. The balance of equities overwhelmingly favors the government. So they got some trusts that private citizens are involved with, advisory board BS. That's almost as bad as this woman saying, well, it's going to upset me when I walk my dog past the White House. When did you last walk your dog past the White House? I don't know, but I might want to do it next week. But anyway, the balance of equities overwhelmingly favors the government. The district court elevated the aesthetic displeasure of a single passerby over the government's security interests in the ballroom and the security risks of leaving an open construction site at the president's home and office. These errors, well, it's not errors. These errors in equitable judgment require vacating the injunction. Nothing's been stopped, okay? This thing has been stayed and construction is ongoing. But we see what direction these crooked judges are going. The district court sees supervision of construction at the White House, and my colleagues affirm this judicial overreach because the injunction is beyond the proper province of the federal courts. Construction should be allowed to continue. The decision has been stayed and does not take an effect for a period of time. We will be immediately appealing to the United States Supreme Court. The military and Secret Service are viewing this horrendous, politically motivated, and unlawful ruling as a national security threat to our nation, in that the entire complex is being built for the protection of residents. The single integrated project includes bomb shelters, state-of-the-art hospital, and top-secret military facilities, structures, and equipment, protective missile-resistant steel, columns, roofs, and beams, drone-proof ceilings and roofs, military-grade venting, and bullet, ballistic, and blast-proof glass. It's all tied together as one big, expensive, and very complex unit, which is vital for national security and military operations of the United States of America. The Circuit Court decision, which is totally wrong on the vital subject of standing, of which the plaintiff has none, severely jeopardizes the lives and welfare of the people who work and will be working at the White House, including all future presidents of the United States and their families, as well as the lives of all those visiting, such as heads of state and other dignitaries, and all Americans who wish to visit the historic, beautiful executive mansion. The Circuit Court also refused to acknowledge that the desperately needed and totally secure ballroom, which is being built ahead of schedule and under budget, is a gift from the from President Trump and great patriots of the United States of America. There will be no expense to the American taxpayer. This unjust decision must be overturned by the Supreme Court in its entirety. Thank you for your attention to this deeply important national security matter. President Donald J. Trump. Well, that was a long post, but necessary. Laid it all out right there. Who the hell do these clowns think they are? And they're causing me to lose respect for the court. So I know I'm not the only one. I'm sure there's many others. They got to restore the reputation of the court. They got to take decisive action and take it pretty damn quick. It's ridiculous. Some crazy cat lady, J.D. Vance should have never apologized for that. TDS freak, backed by a bunch of Act Blue judges, allegedly. But anyway, let's see what's going on in the chat. Everything okay in the chat? Well, if somebody comes in that's talking a little arguments, personal arguments, I'll have a discussion with them. Okay. So anyway, have you all heard that Trump didn't give Thune endorsement or support? He's kind of being coy about it. We're going to see how John Thune does, right? And they say that because Trump was soft pedaling his support for Thune, that Thune is suddenly getting his rear end in gear. Because I tell you what, if Trump points a finger at him, his career's over. Okay? So I don't know what Thune's plans for the future are, but anyway, here's Trump.
Thune to serve another term as leader? Do you think, would you support him?
Well, I don't want to get into that necessarily, but
why?
I'll tell
A lot of people are thinking about it. This is a big issue.
I get along with him. It's unfortunate that he doesn't have the vote.
But do you actually get along with him?
I do.
But you clearly disagree. I mean, you have big disagreements.
I do have disagreements. I believe strongly in terminating the filibuster. And by the way, getting Save America Act approved immediately, and about 400 other things in every hour of every day. Boom, boom, boom. You get whatever you want. You get.
Democrats would do it too, though, right? They'd get.
Well, they're going to do that. They're going to do that. If they get in, they're going to do it very quickly. I mean, you're wrong on that one.
We'll see.
They're going to do that so fast. And I say, as long as we all know that they're going to do it, I'm so shocked to hear you. I would do it whether they did it or not. We would get, in the next 2.5 years, we would get things that nobody ever dreamt of. We would be in office for the next 100 years. And I'll tell you what, if they get in, I may be the last.
You know the rest of that one. The last Republican president. The last Republican president. I'm just seeing what's going on. Timing is everything. That's right, Frank. Well, it needs to be over, but we got to. Hey, it'll never be over. We're always going to have commies trying to take our stuff. This stuff, they've been doing this for over 100 years. They've been working on this, getting into people's brains and. But here's what Trump has pointed out. You know, is it that Republicans are too nice? Too nice? That's what Trump is saying here. Now, that's the way they're behaving. Trump's pointing that out. They're too nice. And that Democrats are vicious, okay? And smart. But Okay, I'll play this first and I'm going to play something else for you.
Might be.
Are they more vicious than Republicans?
I think the Republicans are too nice, actually. I think the Republicans are much nicer. I think the Republicans are much more gentle than the Democrats. I think the problem with the Democrats, they have bad policy. They're smart, they're vicious, but they have really bad policy. Open borders, let the whole world come into our country, let prisons be emptied out into our country. The transgender mutilization of your children, that's fine with them. All of these things that they have men playing in women's sports, they want men playing. They have horrible policy. They love crypto. They love AI, but they don't like it if I'm involved in it, because if I'm involved as president, look, I've created the greatest market ever. Nobody could believe that we're leading substantially China, as an example, in AI and in crypto. And it's because of me. Biden was against all this. I don't think Biden had any idea what it was. But our country right now is doing better than it's ever done. You know, 150%.
This is exactly right. Well, you see, are they too nice, or are they controlled opposition? I put up videos before and said for you to check out Laura Logan on Truth Social. Opposition is the real con. Is it that they're too nice, or on the TAKE Marxists that infiltrated? Well, listen to this fellow.
The communists and the Marxists and the Muslims did not stand up, did not rise up and take over our political apparatus without the help of conservatives. And I say conservatives in air quotes for those who are listening and can't watch. The conservatives, because that's what they are. Controlled opposition is what the con men. Okay. And Michelle Tafoya is the perfect example. You tell me how, in the wake of Charlie Kirk's brutal assassination, and we're supposed to have this Christian revival, ahead of this spiritual war that's breaking out. You tell me how the Republican-held United States Senate saw fit to send a woman who's openly pro-choice, recruit and endorse, fund a woman who's openly pro-choice in a state where our Republican Party platform has been explicitly pro-life for, 30, 40 years.
Yeah.
I mean, who would even do? It's like they're mocking Christians. And I'm not talking about the communists. I'm talking about, mainstream, party apparatchiks like Tim Scott and John Thune. And they're slow walking the president. They're treating him like a lame duck. I mean, this whole thing is kind of like, I'm getting to the point now where it's like there's a small faction of us who still believe in America, who still believe in having a country, God, versus everybody else. And we're way outnumbered. And that's okay, but that's what it is.
But are we really outnumbered? Are we really? If you pay attention to the media, we're outnumbered. I don't believe we're outnumbered. But I do put a lot of credence in the con job, the controlled opposition. Anyway, I got a couple other clips of Trump. Have you all seen what is the deal with these hair memes? Citizen Free Press was putting them up. I saw on Midas Trash Network, they were putting up poorly done memes of Trump wearing a wig with a price tag on it and stuff like this. And then I start seeing these memes coming out.
They said it couldn't be done. But look at this. Incredible growth. Incredible.
My God.
Everyone's talking about it. The best hair, maybe ever. Make hair great again.
When are we ever going to have a president with this kind of this kind of ability, to be shown in these situations. Anyway, wordy dirt alert, sorry.
We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that?
That's just oh, that cracks me up. That cracks me up. Not music, I think, but I'll play it anyway. Yeah, you. I got my eye on you. So I don't know if they're trying to give me a ding for that one or this one. This is the last one. And now here's Trump. I don't know what started all this. I don't know. But it's going out there. Trump hair. So anyway, a lot of people getting blackpilled. That young fella I just played now on Laura Logan show, he seemed a little blackpilled, but he was confident that we're going to prevail and we keep fighting. But I don't believe we're outnumbered. And yeah, it looks like a lion's mane, Randy. That's what I put in the comments when they were putting up wig memes saying Trump wears a wig on Midas Trash Network. I said, looks good. Looks like a lion's mane. Harry Sisson tried to do something. Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Anyway, wait a minute. I'm trying to see what we're going to get into next about people being blackpilled. Here is, the Democrats are the ones should be depressed, feeling outnumbered. Normal Democrats, because they got to lay in that bed they made with these whack jobs that are winning elections. Sparky, how you doing? Who done? There's somebody else got Melvita. Nice to see you. So anyway, yeah. Who is this? My screen trying to freeze on me again. Mike Rogers, message to Michigan voters. Yeah, Michigan's dealing with Abdur. Let's hear what you got to say. This is for the black pillars. He wants people to not be black pilled. Okay, keep up the fight. Don't get weak-kneed and start waking up at 5 a.m. to call to prayer. No, he doesn't say that, but anyway.
If you're among the majority of Democratic voters that woke up on Wednesday feeling, well, hopeless, because the person who won does not represent your values, well, just know there is still hope. Michigan deserves a senator who is ready to sit with you, hear from you, and represent you. The parents across Michigan who want an education system that sets up their kids for success. You have a home with us. To grandparents across Michigan who are heartbroken from watching their kids and grandkids leave the state. You have a home with us. To young people who are looking for real solutions to solve our housing affordability crisis. You have a home with us. To working families who don't want higher taxes and lower paychecks, well, you have a home with us. And to the vast majority of people across Michigan who do not want to throw their support behind a campaign filled with anger, divisiveness, calls for violence, and the views that are out of touch with your values, well, you have a home with us. The fight is far greater than just left versus right. The fight is for the very soul of our nation. Over the next 90 days, I'm going to work hard to earn your trust, to earn your support, and earn your vote. We have a state to save, Michigan. Let's get to work.
Welcome home. You have a home. That's an old political slogan. Goes back way, like the 1930s, Come home. to your values. And we'll see how it goes. This whole thing has got to be a show. Got to be. Here's Abdul El-Sayed talking to Republicans in 2018. You may not hate Muslims, but Muslims definitely hate you. Now, he's been being prepared at least since, 2020, I think. I don't know. But anyway, 2018 at least. Been being prepared. Here he is. And look who put it up. Laurel Loomer. Like I said, like her or not, she keeps track of stuff like this.
Listen, I was talking with Kamal Salim, who's endorsed me for my governorship. It's not racist. He was talking about it as a function of his religion. Well, it has nothing to do with religion. Just because he's got the keyword Muslim in it, that doesn't mean it's a Muslim organization. It means that they use that as a mask to go off and do things like he's doing right now, to go off and make it a victimhood. No, this is very serious stuff, guys. This is about civilization jihad. It needs to be up in the awareness. We should have an adult conversation, not simple name calling. I'm tired of name calling.
And Shri, okay? And Shri, you can get your 30 seconds first.
So I grew up in this state. And you can imagine going to school with a name like mine, you get a fair share of bullying. The fact is that I just don't pay attention to bullies. It's not worth it. But here's the thing. One of the biggest frustrations that I've had is that the assumption that there should be some sort of association between me and some dastardly group functions simply on the fact that I choose to pray a particular way. It is implicitude that is used to raise the scepter that has everything to do with context. Now, here's the thing. What frustrates me more is not that you have blatant racism on the part of certain people. But what frustrates me more is, in the words of Martin Luther King, is that one of the most dangerous aspects is not when bad people speak out, it's when good people fail to speak out. And what I have not heard is the Republicans on this panel decisively and swiftly call out this kind of Islamophobia, this kind of racism in the context, right, that they are running to represent a state that has the highest per capita number of Muslim Americans in the country. Now, you might not hate Muslims, but I'll tell you, Muslims definitely hate you.
All right, Shri?
So he just calls some people Islamophobes, racists, or just pukes it right out. And, of course, he can support Taqiyya, which is lying as a shield of faith. Not to say anything to him. Yeah, I saw that where he said he couldn't stand black-pilled is, wait a minute, deeply, my chats keep jumping at it. It's hard to read them. Yeah, black-pilled means people like are glum, giving up. They think all is lost, and that's what black-pilled means. And I've been hearing it a lot. And, buddy, anybody who's black-pilled, you ain't seen nothing as far as how bad things can get in life. We're fortunate in a lot of ways. And, but anyway, what was I talking about? I was talking about this guy, El-Sayed, saying he couldn't stand. I'm like you. I can't remember the name of the place. I got the clip in here somewhere. I'll play it. I'll pull it up here in a bit. Here it is. I'm not sure where the clip is, but let's see. Here he is again. Okay, so they're putting this stuff out at a good time. You know, he's locked in. He's a candidate for the Senate. Just in. Abdul Sayed caught on hot mic making shock admission. I hate Mackinac so much. I'm just going to be like every... So is this a clip? Let me see. Let's see. Oh, no, that's where they're bombing something in Ukraine. I don't mean to laugh at people getting bombed in Ukraine, but well, I'll play it when I put it up. But yeah, he got caught on a hot mic, and I'm sure it's flying around Michigan. People are talking about it. So anyway, let's see what this is. The University of Michigan announces it will hide first semester grades from freshmen's official transcripts in an effort to curb the mental health crisis. You got to hide their grades. Abdul El-Sayed, will he help the students of Michigan keep from going cuckoo when they can't perform to the level they're supposed to because they're DEI admissions? But anyway, what the hell are they talking about? Hiding the grades to protect their fifis.
Real quick, I want to get to one other thing, and that is University of Michigan to bury first semester grades in a bid to curb.
Institutions of higher learning, emphasis on higher learning, used to be just that. They used to only accept a small percentage of the best and the brightest, but now they're leering centers that accept people just to train them on how to get high when they're not training young people on how to essentially become domestic terrorists. And it's no surprise that approximately 60% of the college towns in Michigan did vote for Abdul El-Sayed.
And just lastly, 10 seconds I've got here. Is this fair to the students?
They think it's fair to them in the moment. I think it's ridiculous. The fact that they don't even call it pass-fail. They actually got rid of the word fail because, you know, that's an offensive word because success itself is offensive. This is a competition to the bottom, and those students are going to feel that when they've learned no skills throughout college. They broke their banks, and they're going to have to deal with the problem of affordability when they graduate.
Did she say that 60% of students in Michigan supported El-Sayed? You know, there's a real problem with our high institutes of higher learning. A little levity. A fetus should not be treated like a human, says woman with cat named Dave that wears a sweater. Oh, she looks like a real keeper too, you know. But anyway, something for your meta page. I am Kim. I am Islamophobic. I don't want people that around me that want to wipe out my faith, people of my faith, and yeah, makes me nervous. Now here's a report. Speaking of being nervous, from the New York Times. American scientists have, for the first time, used artificial intelligence to create new types of viruses that do not exist in nature, according to the New York Times. Talk about a slippery slope. God knows what they're doing, experimentation and stuff like that. You would think that that type of stuff would be outlawed, but if you don't keep up with it and you got an enemy behind the curb, won't you? The Protect College Sports Act, this is from Donald Trump, is a great bill, and the Senate will hopefully stay in D.C. till it passes. Without this bill, millions of young athletes will be hurt, programs will be canceled, women's and Olympic sports will go away, and the fans will be robbed, and universities will go broke. Nobody has done more to protect women athletes than me, and this bill clearly protects laws in 27 states protecting women's sports and banning men from women's sports. Anyone who tells you differently is lying. Stop grandstanding and get this done. Thank you for your attention to this matter. He said, and try getting this done. It is, like Yoda said, there is no try, only do. So, anyway, who is that athlete that said, he's going to try out for the women's team? I got him in here somewhere, too. He said he read through their bylaws, and he's going to show up at training camp. Say, I feel like a woman today. Congratulations to our great senator from Tennessee, Marsha Blackburn, who had a tremendous win for Governor John Rose. Yeah, who was that last night was saying they must now go on the next step, where she's running against radical left Democrat who does not won all 3 times in historic numbers. Marsha will decisively win Tennessee, and under her leadership will go on to set records in every category. I know Marsha well, and she has my complete and total endorsement to be next governor of the great state of Tennessee. Congratulations, Marsha. President Donald J. Trump. Now, why would she give up her Senate seat to be a governor? Oh, it's somewhere on the chessboard, I'm sure. Something going on the chessboard. These guys are getting ready to get checkmated. What are they going to do? Here's Jack Posobiec pointed this out. They don't have another choice. Or to get either jump on board with El Said or get kicked out of power. Schumer, Gillibrand rally behind abolish ICE El Said for Senate after Michigan primary win. Chuck Schumer and the rest of the Democratic Party are complete and total cowards. Well, they got nowhere. What are they going to do? Their system put it in there, gave him the ability, the exposure, espoused his views, jumped on board with all the garbage. Now, you know, I made a comment about this. Next thing I'm going to show you. Remember how Stephen Miller was talking about people having kids just to get their citizenship so they can get benefits? Well, let me tell you something. There's an old saying. I'll tell you in a minute. The 75-year-old man who claims to be a Trump voter is furious after ICE arrests his much younger Venezuelan, quote, fiancé at a Houston airport. 75 years old. And my comment there was, there's no fool like an old fool. No fool like an old fool. You're 75 years old. You watch some of these videos on YouTube. People post. They call themselves expatriates. They're in the Philippines. They're in Thailand. They're in Venezuela. Searching for a new life. 60, 70 years old, sometimes more. And they end up with a 20-year-old, a 30-year-old. And they're delusional. This person loved me because I'm special. They understand me. No fool like an old fool. Some 60-some-year-old man with kids on their lap that don't look nothing like them. But I'll tell you what, when they cork off, the wife could be in the Philippines and receive survivor benefits from Social Security, and the kids can receive benefits too. Electronic funds go right around the other side of the face of the earth because of a bunch of old fools. But anyway, here's this old fool, 75 years old, mad at the world.
I voted for Trump. I am saying that they are picking up law-abiding citizens. They're destroying families, jobs.
John Gannon is a 75-year-old businessman and lifelong Republican who supported President Trump in 2024.
I wouldn't do that again. Not after this fiasco.
His fiancée, 45-year-old Venezuelan immigrant Yasmin Suarez Reyes, was detained by ICE at George Bush Intercontinental Airport in Houston in late July.
8 ICE agents swarmed Jasmine and detained her, didn't tell us why, and rustled her off into a car.
When you saw that unfold, what went through your mind?
Well, I was just in total disbelief.
According to her immigration lawyer, Suarez Reyes came to the U.S. legally in 2023 and later applied for asylum, a case that is still ongoing. But her underlying permission to be in the U.S. has lapsed. Some people may say this is what mass deportations look like.
They're not going after the hard guys. That's too difficult. It's easier to pick up at the airport. You know, it's like shooting fish in a barrel.
Suarez Reyes was arrested as part of a recent crackdown by ICE at airports across the country.
ICE is here, help us!
Back in Texas, Gannon says he deeply misses his fiancée, who remains in ICE custody, facing deportation.
Jasmine's good as gold. Love Jasmine. That's it.
We contacted the Department of Homeland Security about this case, but have yet to hear back. Immigrants like Suarez Reyes would typically not have been targeted for deportation and arrest under prior administrations. But the Trump administration has taken the position that anyone whose immigration status has lapsed is fair game for enforcement.
Well, I didn't catch him mention her age in there, but you know, he's going to abandon his political principles and all this. I'm telling you, they go cuckoo when they go over there. When they go over there. She was 2 years behind in her paperwork. Hi, Felix. I tell you what, you can watch it on YouTube. One guy I disagreed with these so-called YouTube creators. One guy was in his late 60s, married to a very young Filipino woman, and she had a kid, and he corked off like a month after the kid was born. And I don't agree at all about putting videos up mocking him, but people were paying attention to that situation. Man, she was on the phone and she got benefits in a snap of a finger. And there's an endemic of elderly men, American men, British men that are over there, that went over there with money and are penniless and homeless. in the Philippines and other countries. Because you can't own land over there. You can't own a house. She says, honey, I love you. Let's build a house. Well, I can't own land here because well, that's okay. We'll put it in my parents' name. And you pay to have the construction done. They do that stuff. Next thing you know, they're getting a divorce. She gets the house. The family gets the house. And the old man's out in the street. She was 45. Well, should have crossed your T's and dotted your I's before you brought her in the country. It's just that simple. I'm sure it was not a mystery what her immigration status was. No fool like an old fool. Ron Johnson asked about Fauci's actual COVID-era phone. Have you all heard about this? I guess they'll be turning the phone over to state investigators. Man, is this going to open up a can of worms about his rights to remain silent? Did they get a subpoena for his phone? Are they allowed to take evidence collected in congressional investigations and turn it over to states? Man, it's going to be a mess. But it's a mess we got to go through and set some precedent, okay, for future prosecutions.
Senator, you have the phone with you. Can we look through it on live TV, please?
No, we're downloading the phone right now.
Okay, so what can you tell us about what you've learned thus far?
Well, from the phone, not much, because we're downloading it and we're trying to do it the right way. We want to preserve the evidence. I can tell you that what we have looked at, it predates the pandemic, so that's good. The way we're going to use it, obviously, is we'll compare key moments, see who he was texting. We'll compare what we see on the phone to other FOIA requests where he provided text. Did he provide all the texts? Because we know, obviously, his henchman, David Morans, had a FOIA lady, showed him how to delete emails or remove them. And so it might be a treasure trove. I think the diaries certainly were. Showed Fauci for the complete phony that he.
Well, yeah, he can delete all that stuff he wants, but we have it all, okay? We have it all, and we know that. A lot of people don't know that, but we do. Yeah, Fetterman, I said, Todd, I said to keep an eye on him. He's trying to jump over to the Republican Party, and frankly, we just don't need his ilk. His ilk. We don't need it. Here you go. What have I been saying since the beginning of the AI controversy? I've said garbage in, garbage out. GIGO, we learned that. When computers first came out, the Commodore, okay? When you had a calculator in your hand that was the size of a brick that you build houses with. Remember? We were taught GIGO, garbage in, garbage out. Never forget that you are your own data center. Drink plenty of water and consume as much literature as possible. Remember when I went on a rant about you're supposed to be secure in your papers and effects, and how people don't commit to paper anymore. They don't hold it in their hands and read a book. Everything is in a little plastic toy that if you dropped it in a pool, all your memories, all your writings, everything that was your actions, essence, thoughts is gone. Or if the government just feels like pushing a button and wiping it out. But they can't do it when it's on a piece of paper. And you're supposed to be secure in your papers and effects. Read a book. Read a book. If you got books on the shelf, history books, they can't electronically change them. Here's Trump talking about Hakeem. Man, Trump he's a diplomat. Trump, I'd probably get along with Jeffries. Not me. I'd be throwing political rocks at him, okay? President Trump said he could have a productive relationship with Hakeem Jeffries. If Democrats take the House and Jeffries becomes Speaker next year, oh my God. Despite the two frequently trading political attacks, can you believe that is even being considered? Miss Menderson, how are you, Miss Menderson? When did you guys? I hadn't seen you this whole time. So, yeah, I can't even conceive of that as a damn notion. My God. Hakeem Jeffries and Abdul El-Sayed and Zohran Mamdani. We thought Barack Hussein Obama was bad. Look here. Did you forget about this guy? This guy. What are we going to do with this guy? Man, he's nervous. Journalist Don Lemon is seeking to have the criminal case against him thrown out by a federal judge. His lawyers are tying the charges to what they say is a broader assault on free press. I heard the judge was very negative towards that position. When they put up goofball motions, the judge does not play with Lemon. But they're putting it up there anyway. Lemon was charged by the Justice Department after allegedly entering a church in St. Paul, Minnesota, with a group of anti-ICE activists who disrupted services. But Lemon maintains he was there in his capacity as a journalist. The January church service came amid an immigration crackdown in Minnesota and the killing of Renee Good by a federal agent. So throw gas on the fire. Anyway, he's not gonna get very far with that. From what I've heard, the judge is not friendly to those types of arguments. Oh my God. You know, I talked about the CUE posts where they put up dozens and dozens and dozens of articles, reports, and names and convictions and charges of people who were going around setting fires. And, that's been 6-7 years ago. So this doesn't surprise me. Spokane arson suspect admits setting old trails fire. 25 other fires since summer of 2025. So in around 12 months, he was setting average of 2 fires a month. Well, no, more than that. Yeah, that's about right. Court documents allege Aaron Farinacci spent weeks planning the catastrophic and deliberately waited for hot, dry, and windy conditions. So, yeah, he's going to be sitting in the can, because there you got the environmentalists, you got everybody mad. So he'll be in the can for a long time. Well, what's he trying to do? Prove that climate change is real? David Hogg. Moderates don't have right values to be in the Democrat Party. Well, like we just heard, you have a home. You have a home in the Republican Party, not for Fetterman types. But David Hogg doesn't want you moderate Democrats, if there is such a thing anymore.
There's been an argument that they need to moderate or concern over what that's going to look like should they succeed, or that they may not succeed, that they might be defeated by Republicans despite them not doing well in the polling either. What would you say to the moderates in your party who feel that way?
I would say to the moderates in our party, you need to figure out how to actually offer something new to voters that isn't just the same message that you gave them in 2024. Increasingly, the reason why the establishment of our party is being defeated over and over and over again is it's because they don't have the right values that are aligned with not just the Democratic base, but the American people, where people are sick and tired of listening to Democrats who tell them all the reasons why they can't solve their problems. If you can't solve our problems, you shouldn't be running for office. We need people who actually sound at a minimum and genuinely believe what they are saying.
I don't even know what to say. I don't like David Hogg. I don't like his positions, of course. But I would not have thought of him being against moderate. I thought he would be the one pushing to moderate some of this garbage going on. I didn't know he was this whacked out, but apparently he is. Can't judge a book by its cover. Tudor Dixon says, I'll say what Democrats are too afraid to say. Abdul al-Sayed is obsessed with the Middle East, and he's trying to use a Senate seat in Michigan to control what happens there. Oh, is that even legal? Of course not, but it happens all the time. Just ask Bob Menendez. He was taking money from the Middle East, and he's sitting in jail right now. He was taking gold bars and cash. So let's see what's going on here.
After careful consideration and review.
Oh, holy cow. That's the guy that's, I got the video mixed up. That's the guy that's going to try out for the women's basketball. I guess I don't have that clip about al-Sayed. Daggone it. Well, that's all right. You get the general gist. Man, I wonder where that went. Did not get uploaded? Is that the situation? Well, anyway, yeah. So we know what they're all about. Muslims are about conquering, lying, and conquering. Taqiyya and conquering. But anyway, since I put it on the screen, well, this isn't a meme. It's I'll get to the meme in a second. This is, I think, I'm not sure who put this up about women's basketball. Minnesota Lynx head coach Cheryl Reeve wore Trans Kids Belong t-shirt in protest of Sophie Cunningham. Meanwhile, the crowd is letting her hear it, and Sophie is getting heavily booed every time she touches the ball tonight. I mean, they're insane, in my opinion, okay? So, come on now, my studio won't behave. Get that off the screen. And this is a guy that says he's going to try out. What are they going to tell him? They want to be inclusive, and he's going to say he feels like a woman.
After careful consideration and reviewing the current eligibility guidelines, I am officially declaring myself a WNBA prospect. If simply declaring who you are is all that's required, then I meet every single requirement necessary to compete in the WNBA. My team and I have carefully examined the WNBA's eligibility criteria and governing framework surrounding self-identification and inclusion. Based on the current guidelines, I can and am officially declaring my eligibility for the upcoming WNBA draft in May 2027. I am definitely not here to mock, make fun of, or disrespect any community or personal choices. I am simply asking that the current rules be applied equally to everyone. The rules that represent the very values many WNBA players and coaches have publicly advocated for. My team and I are prepared to ensure these guidelines are applied equally, consistently, and without exception. And I look forward to the WNBA honoring its stated principles. See you at training camp.
See you at training camp. So he's going to raid the training camp. And what? They can't tell him no. They can't tell him no. Anyway, so, I got this guy on the screen. Not too fast. Vandal alleged. Act Blue affiliate, his lawyer. And, his charges, I had a clip of, or a picture of Jeanine Pirro from the other day where, everybody knows Trump is not happy with her. Is this it? Yeah. And she had made, as far as I know, she had made a comment. Furious Trump is considering removing Pirro over reflecting pool filing, sources say. President Donald Trump is considering removing Jeanine Pirro, the U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia, over a Justice Department conclusion that the problems from the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool stemmed from a flawed renovation rather than vandalism. Two people familiar with this thinking told CNN. Well, it wasn't a stem from flaw in the renovation. How many of you all, many of us have been watching Penguin 6, right, for years. And a lot of times he's been Johnny on the spot in D.C. Well, he caught Trump's attention. Penguin 6 caught Trump's attention. I should put that on the thumbnail. Gave him a shout out by name. Now that people are able to see it up close, they are reporting pure vandalism at the reflecting pool. Thank you, Andrew Layden, for your observation. That's Penguin 6. The material was cut right where the videotape showed, for 300 feet or more. People were on their knees with their hands in the water at the exact location of the slashes. Additionally, there were witnesses to the vandalism, and the flexible area of the material were cut with a knife. U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro should revisit her hastily made decision, especially since it turned out to be that the gentleman involved is a big player in Act Blue. Now, I don't know who that lawyer was with him, but and is represented by Trump deranged sleazebag political hack lawyer. Man, I should have put that instead of Act Blue affiliated. I could put that underneath it. Norm Eisen and a crew, a group that uses charity for political purposes, which is, to the best of my knowledge, illegal. I have been beating Eisen, a complete lunatic, in court for 10 years or more. He just keeps coming, but I always win. President Donald J. Trump. So here is what Trump put with the post. Andrew Layden, Penguin 6. Cuts in are visible today after NPS. The contractor reported this to the park police as vandalism, but we have not been able to photograph until now due to the fences. So here you have. You can see where they were peeling the upper left-hand corner. You see a flap where they're pulling it away from the concrete, and you see the exposed concrete where they're peeling the liner and cutting it. In the lower left, you see an X over top of a cut that goes all the way across the picture. So It's a mystery to me why she did that backflip. And we haven't heard anything out of her. But, as my thumbnail says, not so fast. Because the charges aren't totally gone. They were dismissed without prejudice. A case is dismissed without prejudice when a court stops or ends a lawsuit or criminal charge temporarily, meaning the plaintiff or prosecutor has the right to fix the underlying errors and refile the exact same claim or charges in the future. Was it an underlying error? Was it a deficiency in the evidence that they feel they can cure? Was it in any of the filings the words that the press are reporting, botched job, defective work? Or is that all coming from the press and unnamed sources? Common reasons for dismissal: procedural or technical mistakes. The paperwork has missing information, or court documents were not served correctly. Wrong court or location. The case filed in wrong geographical jurisdiction or wrong venue. Need more evidence. Prosecutors lack enough admissible proof, or key witnesses are unavailable. Who knows? Who knows? But she's being silent, and I am not discounting her ability to fight. And a lot of those quotes, they're not repeating now. They're not repeating botched job. They're not repeating that the Justice Department is saying that the contractor was at fault. They're not repeating that in these reports. Judge dismisses David Hearn's reflecting pool indictment, but a crucial legal question remains. Namely, can he be charged again? Was the witness bullied? You know, I saw a video a short. It was when the algae was breaking out, and there was a guy on this short. He said he was in charge of something with the reflecting pool, in some sort of government position. He was in a polo shirt, if my memory serves me correct, and he was saying things like, well, the algae wasn't from vandalism. It came from inside the pipes. Things like that. And he did say he was an official at some capacity, either with the Park Service or the government. And this was before the razor knife stuff came up. And I was saying, who's this guy making excuses? Who is this guy? If they put algicide in there, chlorine, did all this treatment, and you had a clear pool, a clear reflecting pool, you're not going to have algae all of a sudden come out of the pipes like a bunch of mice hiding in a wall. Those chemicals flow through those pipes constantly. I've dealt with public-private pool systems, public-private water systems that you have to test and do all this kind of. I did for 10 years. That's not how it works. So I'm wondering if this guy had some influence. I would be checking bank accounts of certain people. I'm just saying, just to be safe. Anyway, so he's still on the hot seat. And my optimism may be misplaced, and he may totally walk, and Jeanine Pirro may resign. I don't know. But I don't think she's going to stay on with this staying the way it is. I got this one because APT is reporting Donald Trump is escalating the battle over the White House security complex. They're not referring to it as a ballroom. And almost exclusively, ABC, CNN, MS Now, all the usual suspects are repeating ballroom and not even bringing up the security complex. So that gives me a little more encouragement about APT being more balanced. Trump takes the White House security fight to a Supreme Court. The narrative is that Trump just wants to self-aggrandize by building a ballroom for wealthy people and not the security issues that Donald Trump brought up. Now with Iran, word is that they are, I showed you last night, that they're saying the supreme leader is going to accept the next resignation if one comes forth from the guy we've been negotiating with. I did a video months ago that was called The Negotiator. Keep him alive. And a lot of people suspect that that's the person who is they're working with, the most rational one. But word on the street is that his counterpart in the IRGC is talking about a coup, a 250,000 man coup, and ousting this moderate voice. So it's a I put civil strife or something like that in my title, but it's looking like more like civil war could happen in Iran. And I showed you the peace agreement that was signed between three different countries, a mutual assistance treaty. That's been done today. So they're reporting that Iran is in a superior position. Trump has made a mistake. He's going to suffer in the midterms, which is what the Iranians want. But the fact of the matter is the temperature's going up. And Iran is being surrounded, basically. Arab mediators are working on a deal with Iran to reopen the Strait of Hormuz, said they fear the country's diplomats, who are under pressure from hardliners in Tehran, lack the clout to guarantee compliance, even if an agreement is reached. So Trump has told them if you don't, they use the term open the strait. Fine, we'll use that term. Trump says it's mostly open, and the only way it's closed is through our blockade, right? Which is very effective. So Trump has said if you don't stop the attacks on shipping, we're going to hit you very hard. The hardliners are directly threatening and confronting the moderates. You have the agreement with the surrounding countries of mutual assistance. Something big is going to happen. Trump is going to run out of patience. And the general consensus, not from unnamed sources that go run into CNN and MSNBC now, but the general consensus among people who are really in the know is that things are not going to get normal until we get rid of the hardliners. That civil strife, and the other term you could use is civil war, is going to have to happen, and the hardliners are going to have to lose. And that's got to come to a point, come to a head at some point. And we're very close. And if that happens, that's when Trump is going to go all in. And they are going to get hit very hard, not just by the U.S., but by internal forces, by the Kurds, by Iraqis out of Erbil, and the Turks, and the Saudis, and Pakistan. And there's no conducting business with the hardliners. As long as they have peace in that region, they have got to be taken out of power. So anyway, and all the pieces are in place. Very close to me. I want to show you this here. Scott Lebedo. He had a cardiac event. He's an artist out of New York. The patriotic themed artist. And he chartered a plane from his hospital bed, demanding Mom Dami stay away from 9/11 remembrance ceremonies. And keep in mind that these hardheads we're dealing with in Iran, characters like Mamdani, Abdul Sayed, they're cut from the same cloth, and they're here in our country, not over on the other side of the world.
Where Scott Lebedo organized a protest, America's Artists, against Zohran Mamdani, and they booed him off. Scott had a confrontation, actually had a heart attack, almost died. But today, we're just getting this video in first here on Newsmax. Scott Lebedo apparently chartered a plane from his hospital bed, and he's flying this banner over New York City with a direct message to Zohran Mamdani, and the guy was almost dead. So back from the grave, you see this flying up and down New York City. This is actually a live view right now, first on Newsmax. Mamdani, stay away from ground zero. And I don't think you could be any more clear than that. Shocked a guy who just had open heart surgery. Took the time, but I guess he wants Mamdani to know that the booing's not going to stop, and New York City's getting a clear message from Staten Islanders led by Scott Lebedo.
Yeah, stay away, Mamdani. I've gone to all this whole time, and I haven't had a chance to thank everybody who went to buy me a coffee this week. Mike and Bev and Gary and the younger gang. How you doing, Cole? Ha ha ha. At the beginning of the video, I asked people to give me a thumbs up, help the video get around. But other than that, I've been just babbling the whole time. Ha ha ha. But yeah, I don't have my booms right here or nothing. But anyway, I do appreciate everybody. This is a totally viewer-supported channel. I'm not monetized on YouTube. And I usually put a link in the chats. Kaboom! There, I got a boom off. Link in the chats for anybody that wants to go by and check out the page, buy me a coffee, and or help the channel out. It's greatly appreciated. Here we go. We're in the first week of August. Oh my, time is flying by. We got. Tomorrow will be 90 days, officially 90 days, till the midterms, folks. We can't let any grass grow under our feet. You know that. So anyway, the link is in the chats for anybody that would care to help out with the channel. And I'm going to put this up because I've always said that countries like Sweden And the powers in Brussels are the ones who have been running the principalities for a millennia. So anyway, here's an interesting little thing. When have you heard Trump talk about Sweden? He's talking about them now. Okay. And not a lot of people caught it. I caught it. So no, we don't need your watches. Okay, Sweden. And you got it damn good. And that's not going to last forever. I'll go ahead and play this clip of Donald Trump. Y'all tell me what you think about it in the comments. And what do I always say? I say thank you for spending your precious time with me. And I should be going live. Well, if you're subscribed, you'll know when I go live. So why don't you go ahead and do that? Ha ha. So anyway, I hope you all have a great night. Enjoy this clip. This is Mountain Man. Over and out.
Make many countries, elite countries, take a look at Switzerland. We have a $39 billion deficit.
One stroke of the pen. My bad. I said Sweden. I mean Switzerland. Phew, I don't know why I mixed them up. But anyway, got it right now.
And they're no longer an elite country. Yet they pay 0.5% interest. They're the lowest ones. And all I have to do is say, I don't want any of your watches, I don't want any of your goods. And we save ourselves $39, $40, $41 billion. And they go from being elite to being very troubled. Fortunately, I'm a nice person, okay? But just so you understand, they're paying 0.5 point. We're paying much more than that. In the old days, we were also the lowest interest rate. We should be the lowest interest rate again, because many of these countries that are very low on interest rates, they're only low because of us, because we're willing to subsidize. We're subsidizing many of the world countries, many of the most elite countries. I use Switzerland as it's very elite. I looked at the interest rates. They're paying the lowest interest rate. Well, without us, they would have nothing but problems. We hand them on a plate $40 billion. So we have a deficit, because I call a deficit a loss. Some people don't. Some people think, oh, well, it's not really, they come up with, to me, it's a loss.